Good morning, people. How are we doing today? Welcome to the Easy Stream, the Sunday morning Fishroom Hangout stream where we hang out in my humble little fish room.
Whip's World said, "Hi, you
and we do things.
people.
What's
Happy
up,
person,
Whip?
Let's get 10. Woozy face.
Woozy face. Good morning, Bionic Bigfoot, who's not here today, by the way. Thanks for not being here. Scotty Aquati, good morning, good morning. John McKenzie, what's up, weirdo? Good morning. 3G, yo. Merrick T, good morning. Long Family Show, good morning, good morning. Hello, Scotty, all right. Sideshow Cody V, good morning. Hello. Jenny Lynn, good morning. Lurking and working, well that sucks, but thanks for being here. The Last Shane Person, good morning. Good morning, The Last Shane Person. Al Wet Sox, what's going on, man? Good morning. Whip's World, good morning. TJ Autocross, what's up, buddy? Who else? We got I'm sorry, we already said good morning again. 310 Aquatics, what's up? Good morning. My nose itches like crazy. What do we got going on today? Just a continuation of everything that's been going on. Anything new? Babies. There is some fry that hatched in the cyanodorsalis tank. Trying to feed them a little more often. We can look at them. We can look at them in a sec here. What else? Last week, we cleaned. There used to be a hang-on-back filter on the back of that saltwater aquarium. But when I changed the lid, it started spraying salt water on the lid, and the lid was becoming like a crusty mess. So I went with a canister filter there. But last week we soaked it in this vinegar mix because it had all these vermitid snails all over it. That was the best idea ever. This thing is like brand spanking new. There's not a vermitid snail show crust thingy anywhere. They kind of all just dissolved into a mush. It was kind of, but it worked really well. So there you go. If you ever need to dissolve some snail shells, I recommend a white vinegar bath. So I cleaned it all out. I rinsed the media. I made sure to get all the remnants of snails that were in the sponges and in the whatever this biomedia is. There's also a sponge that's designed to fit in the bottom here. So I think this is ready for service in a new environment. It's not really like the best sponge, but you know, maybe we can fix that. Let's do this. Let's stand this up on that side. So I think, ideally, I want to put this in the 55 because I think that tank just needs a little extra filtration and a little more flow. So we can do that. Are we over here? There we are. Don't want to lose you guys. All right. Bruiser, good morning. What's going on? All right. Everybody saying hi to each other. Good morning. Al Dry Slippers. What else we got? I wanted to test something out. Maybe we look at fry here in a second. Let's look at... I got a couple things, but I got a camera set up over there. That light is on. Let's just do that. We'll deal with this in a minute. Let's go over there. Let's switch cameras. I'm going to set this down. This is ready to just basically get plugged in and go. So, what are we looking at? Saltwater aquarium. Let's bring this. Let's bring my chat with me. Let's bring my coffee. All right. What the hell was that? Is that? Okay. I don't know what that was, but it sounded loud. All right. This is the tank we nuked last week for the cyanobacteria. But it did absolutely nothing. This round did nothing. I think the bacteria is winning. So, I think I got to do a water change in this, but I don't know if I'm going to do that right now. I actually believe I need to mix up some salt water to do a proper water change. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm taking this air stone out of here because I'm done with it. Done with it. Don't get salt water in my coffee. Set this over here for now. Out the way. All right. Dennis Christensen, good morning, good morning. What's going on? Hello, hello. Yeah. So what else do I got? In this little thing, I found, oh, I can't remember what this is. Some sort of plankton? No, it's not plankton. This is like a sea creature.
Whips World said sorry to interrupt, but I type ALOW. Do you think the white vinegar would remove the hard, crusty shit that accumulates on the filter lids?
Yes. Yes, the scale, whatever that stuff is, yes, I do. It will. Depending on how thick and heavy that scale is. But most of that scale is calcium based, and it will absolutely take care of that. There's some uneaten fish food on top of my fish tank here. Must have spilled some. Let's put it in the tank. The other thing I'm going to do is, I can't remember what this is. I can look it up real quick. It's upstairs in the freezer. It was like, it's not krill. It's some sort of microcrustacean. Well, not micro. You can actually see the eyeballs on these things. But I'm going to feed that anemone because it's been a day or two. The biggest problem is getting past the nasty old clownfish in here. He does not like me getting anywhere near. I love that. I love watching that anemone curl up. Let's get a little more of this in there. Now, this is definitely some sort of like shrimp krill thing. Just touch it to it. Usually I'd be bitten by now. Yeah, that's probably enough. And whatever doesn't get eaten by him. Now the clown likes to come through, and I'll just put some in there for everybody. I definitely have extras to feed other tanks. Maybe we'll feed the flounders again. I love feeding those guys. Yeah, so back to that lid thing. Yes, it will definitely, most likely. I recommend white vinegar. And white vinegar, in my opinion, does a lot better when you dilute it with like some RO water or something. I don't recommend using tap water to dilute it too much because your tap water is probably, if it's hard tap water, you're just kind of neutralizing the vinegar a lot quicker. So I would try to use RO water or distilled. But if you can't, you can't. Thin it out, whatever. Or if your tap water isn't that hard, go for it. I type a low, oh, slow. I see what you're saying. No, you're cool, Whip. That's what the bot's for, man. I answer questions. I don't care. A lot of times I get wrapped up not looking at chat, so there's my little cleaner shrimp down there. You can see him. Well, this tank is due for a water change, but I'm not going to do it at the moment. Maybe if I do it, it will be later in the stream. But other than the problem with the cyanobacteria, was it Atkins was here last week, said that he just stopped doing water changes and just let it get, work itself out. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it. We'll see. I am going to do a water change just because there's still meds in that water. I'm going to put the Purigen back in. I don't think I'm going to medicate this anymore because I don't see it doing anything. I think the bacteria is won, or that medicine's not doing anything to this bacteria. So, yeah, I lost the battle, but the war continues. All right, enough of that. Let's go over here. Should we feed? No. Maybe. Let's do this. Let me get this other camera. The other thing I got, oh, that's what we need. Yeah, I was going to show you the babies. That's right. And we got to change mops today. Today's the mop day, man. We got to get on that. So maybe we do the babies, we do the mops, then we feed whatever we got. Let's see, can I get this going on up here? This is going to be a delicate operation here, so let me, you guys can stare at that while I move this camera. Now, there were a couple little fry in here, but there's also, they're like little fry. So we're going to try and not disturb them. But I also need to do a water change on this tank, and I also, I don't know, I'm kind of all over the place here, folks, so bear with me. I need to change the mops out in this tank. The tank needs a water change. I also got one of these auto feeders, but I don't know how well it's going to work with fry food. It was I got it from Aquarium Co-op. I wanted to test theirs out, see how it is. It took an incredibly long time to ship to me, which was kind of really disappointing, but yeah, what can I do about that? I guess they're at the mercy of their shipping too, so yeah, I wasn't real happy about how long it took, considering I actually paid for the shipping, It wasn't like I got free shipping or anything. Now, let's see how this looks over here, because this is where they were. No, it looks like it's going to be Glare City over there. I can see at least one. I see at least three. I correct myself. Oh, this is so hard to do. This is such a tight space. Hang on. We're going to go down, and we're going to go up. We're going to go over. We're going to try and get in. Get this stupid thing out of there. There we go. Oh, mind me, I'm just going to wreck the place. I can't go any higher than that. So these have got to come down. All right. Maybe. Let's do this. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. You might be able to see something now. All right. Missing anybody here? New local Austin, good morning. What's going on? Alright, let me check this camera. We'll swap it out. We'll see if you can see babies. And we'll move on. So let's go over here. Ooh, this is going to be a... You gotta bear with me a sec here, folks. Let's make that the camera. Let's change the video. Let's change the focus first of all. It's back there. Somewhere on the surface back there are 3 little dots. Can I change this even more? Nope, that's too far. Let's see if we can zoom in. What I just saw there. But you can see the mop is pretty scuzzy looking. Started getting a lot of algae on it. I did start feeding pretty heavy. Yeah, you can see him moving there. Let's see if we can get that focus a little bit better. Maybe more towards the back. There we go. Look at his fat little belly. That's a good sign. See that little dude? There's 2 of them there. See the other one moving? And there's some weird thing crawling on the glass there. I'm guessing that's some sort of crustacean thingy. Alright, so those are cyanodorsalis fry. I did see 3 of them this morning. There's probably a 3rd one floating around in there. Alright, you get the idea. Let's see. Let's zoom out. They're in there. Now the thing is, we got to do a water change on this. Without killing those guys. So let me move this camera back to a respectable distance. It's not like up in the blob is purling. Yes, yes it is. Yes it be. All right, let's go this way. Pow. How's that? Better? No. Let's go over this way. See a little bit better. Should see everything now. Let's try and level you out. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You can see over that way, right? Cool. This is the fry food I'm feeding. I forgot to mention this all together. Earlier this week, 2 of those, this center rack here, there's 4 fish tanks there, 4 fish tanks here. It's kind of isolated from the linear piston pump system that's in the rest of the fish room because it's in the center island here. And unless I wanted to run air lines across the ceiling or floor, there was no really good way to do this. So I set up using these little pickle pumps. I call them pickle pumps. They're little USB 5-volt pumps. Airline goes on that end, and you plug them in this end, and they just blah, 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 blah. That's what's pumping these 4 on this side. However, 2 of them died again on this side, and this is like the 4th one I've had to replace, and like not even like a couple months. I mean, it's not even that, like, it hasn't been that long, I don't think. So I talked about doing this before with the, actually I think I plugged them in last week. No I didn't. Not on the stream. Anyway, I had some diaphragm pumps sitting on the ground, a Whisper pump and a Petco brand, whatever it was. I plugged them both in, and they didn't work. They barely pumped any air. I think that's kind of why they weren't used to begin with. So they went the way of the woolly mammoth, and I had this thing sitting around. Can we see this? Let's talk about this for a second. One of these that I bought. They're kind of loud. Run very hot, but they're very powerful, right? I don't know if you can hear that running. It's kind of like not too incredibly loud at the moment. But I did hook this whole side up to it. I do want to hook this whole side up to it too, because it can certainly handle it. So that's going to be maybe what we start doing. Let me get the mops out. Let me do the water change on this top tank, the little fry tank. I will throw the new mops in, and then we will do the airlines. Should be pretty easy to do the airlines because all I do is got to change out the pumps. All the airlines are already there. I just want to run them to. I have a gang. I have everything we need. I have everything we need. So we're going to do that. So let's get in this. I hate those pumps, too loud and hot, but yes, they do push air. Yes, I agree with you. And I don't think this is going to be a permanent solution. However, this one's kind of like the smaller. I think this is like the smallest size they have. And this one's not. I can definitely tell it's made the room louder with the, but it's not like so bad, you know. I had a bigger model of that one. That bigger model one, like, I couldn't live with that thing. I gave it away. I gave it to Robert. TNT and Aqua. Yeah, and he used it for a while, and he said it was great, but it was loud. He got sick of it, so he bought it. The brand pump, Shark Fin Adventures, I don't actually know. It's like, here. First of all, this thing is really hot, so gotta be careful. Ow. Oh, God. Wow, I should have worn glasses for this. Debar, D-E-B, I don't know. I can't even read that. Designed, tested by Deluxe, Simple Deluxe in California. It is an LG Pump Air 38. It has 38 liters per minute. It runs at 18 watts, so it's definitely got power behind it. I think the other one was like 4 watts was the max. Let's put that back on here without it like rattling. Yes, but I do want to. I was looking at Gemco for their, because Gemco has diaphragm pumps too that are pretty powerful and usually pretty quiet. And I know a couple people that have their diaphragm pumps. They also have the linear piston pumps, but I think that's overkill for 8 tanks. And I don't see this expanding very much without like, well, there's ideas, maybe. That's future. Let's not worry about that right now. All right, Gemco is good. Yep. Vinoxky, what's going on, man? Good morning. Thanks for being here. And good morning, KJE. And good morning, Sharkfin. Sharkfin Adventures. What brand of pump? My pickle broke, yes. So, all right. First things first. We got to focus here. Let me pick up this jug that I kicked across the floor. I never filled it from last week. It's still empty. Oh. Do the metal frame get hot? Yeah, it's the metal. It's like, you can see on this, if you can see it, where you at. Like, hang on, let me grab the, should be able to see it from there. Yeah. This is like a metal housing that has like these, basically cooling fins is what they are. Part of the reason this is blowing so hot is probably because I only have one valve coming out of it, and it can like push a whole lot more air. Like,
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo, said
here
good
he
morning
is.
you
Here he
frozen
is.
yellow snowers.
Good morning, Eduardo. How's it going, man? All right. Hang on, let me fix this. There we go. Let's get this chooch in the right way. I don't want to get this. But yeah, I do want to replace this pump. I was looking at the Gemco ones, but there was not enough
Sharkfin
time.
Adventures said thank you, Jason.
No problem. And I needed it at the moment because there was no air moving in 2 of these tanks. But the air is really chooching now, so use that. Alright, let's get this out of the way for now. Probably
Master
don't need it
Aquatics
there.
just call me Eduardo, said freezing here. Barely
Yeah.
63 degrees.
Freezing. It was like 12 degrees this morning. It was cold. Very cold. Cold and bitter. Bitter and cold. Alright, we're doing the mops right now. So let me get the thing for the mops. We got to make sure we don't get babies in this mess. So we must take them slow go. Okay? Let me open this lid. Move this light. Put it all right there. You hang in there, little babies. Alright, we're going to the red week, so we need the red mops. I'm going to guess the red mops are the ones with all the algae on them, because they've been in here the longest.
Shark Fin Adventures said good morning fish fam.
Good morning, fish fam. Alright, that's one mop. Come on, little guys. You stay there. I'm going to, just in case there's any little, like, you know, eggy eggs that might have made it. I see a white fungus egg that I just released. Okay, there's that. Whoops, that was the wrong one. This is a green
Shark
one.
Fin Adventures said it's Sunday fun day.
Where's the other red one? There's the other red one. Green, you stay in. Red, you come out.
KJE Aquatics said I went to a swap yesterday, came home but forgot a bag of Java moss in the car last night oops.
Frozen Java moss. Yeah, feed it to some fish. I'm sure it'll eat it. So those who don't know, I have a bunch of different mops. I've been every 2 weeks.
Shark Fin Adventures said
I have
what
them
strain of
color-coded.
fish is you breeding?
These.
Whips World said it's -5 degrees here.
Cow.
Eduardo hot beverage.
That's cold. And these are Pseudomugal cyanodorsalis. The blue back, blue eyes. Is their common name, I guess. All right, hang on. There's gonna be some water. Brace yourselves. I can mute this. So hang on.
Sideshow, Cody V, said never miss a Sunday show mushroom guitar party popper.
Heck yeah! Never miss one. That's what I like to hear. Oh, let me finish cleaning this off. I just want to get the junk. Just kind of rinsing it in a little bit of warm water.
Shark Fin Adventures said how long it takes for eggs to hatch. A week to 10 days. How fast do they grow and reach maturity?
These are all good questions. Hang on. The cyanodorsalis, most of these pseudomugals I find, their eggs take around like 2 weeks to hatch, give or take. I usually keep the mops. This is why I have this system where I keep the mop in the tank to gather the eggs for 2 weeks. I swap it into a hatching container. And then I leave them in the hatching container for a month. Basically, I have 3 sets of mops I use. That's why I color-coded them. These are the red ones. And there's 2 here because I have 2 tanks that the adults come from. I have 2 different colonies of adults. So the red mops are here, ready to go. Put them over here with the adults because I got to swap them out. I want to see how many babies are here. I see at least 2. 3. I see 3. That's cool. I don't know how many more hatch. How long do they take to mature? I have 5 different types of pseudomugal species in this fish room that I'm hatching. Some are bigger than others. These are brackish. Most of them are fresh. Some take longer than others, but I'd say probably a good 2 months until they're like not scary little and they could probably go back with the parents without worrying about being eaten. I'd say probably around, a month, but I mean, they're going to be they'll get a little bit big. Yeah, I'd say 2 months, maybe 3 months. They're not as slow growing as, like true rainbows. But they are pretty slow. I mean, they're very tiny when they're born. Let's put it that way. So they could take a little bit to get a little bit bigger. But they sex out really quick. Once you can start telling that they're no longer fry and they kind of look like juveniles, and you can start to make the determination between male and female, they will lay eggs and they will be viable. That's actually how I got this colony started. Like, they were so little, I threw a mop in there. Within a week, there were eggs, and I started hatching some out within a couple weeks after that. So that's when I grew my colony. So I'm trying to keep
Master
up on it.
Aquatics just call me Eduardo, said Jason. What's the difference from true rainbows and Flay's rainbows?
Well, there's a lot of, I guess the rainbow fish community has to think that the blue eye pseudomugals should not be considered in the rainbow family. I don't know why. If you ever see some of these things in like dim light or like dark water or something like that, you can definitely see rainbows. I don't know. I don't know what the contention is there, but
said thank you. What's your feeding regime and water changes? Any tips on growing them up? Food, water parameters, temperatures.
I try to keep them around 78. Some of them I was keeping a lot hotter than that. But
Whips World said convicts are like that. My baby convicts had a huge brood of convicts.
The water change regimen, I try to be weekly. So that usually doesn't happen. So I've been trying to get a lot better though, especially with the brackish tanks.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo, said thus. The pseudomugals aren't considered rainbows. As Whippus.
I feed these guys fry food, which I just showed a second ago here. What I do with it, I moved it somewhere. I thought I put it on a fish tank. Maybe I moved it back here. No, I definitely didn't.
Shark Fin Adventures said Eduardo, true rainbow you see in sky. False one, who knows? Lol, none sky based. Lol.
What did I do with the food? Oh, I swear. Oh, it's over here. Okay. I've been feeding this stuff. First of all, I use golden pearls, the smallest powder. It's a powder. I take a paintbrush, dip it in there, tap it in the tank, cover the surface. My biggest problem is I was having not very good success with a lot of fry. Like, I would get them to hatch, but I couldn't get them to survive long term. I think it's because I wasn't feeding enough, so I'm starting to feed more. I'm trying to do it at least 4 times a day. I was only doing it twice. The other thing I feed is this omnivore spirulina crumble bits. I got it from KJE Aquatics. It's from AgCore. It's basically, it's got a lot of, alright, ingredients are black soldier fly larva, Antarctic krill kelp, kelp, fish meal.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo, said feed me Seymour.
Feed me Seymour. Yep. Alright, so that's that. Let me move those back there. I don't know. Whatever else I missed, I don't know. I used to keep these guys warmer, but I kind of cooled them off because, I don't know, didn't need to be that warm, I guess. They do hatch quicker in warmer water. Ooh, I see 4 babies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 babies. Cool. Alright, what are we doing? We're going to do the airline next. So let's, well, we need to, I think I need you guys. I think I'm going to have to move you guys. Let me set up the other camera. How about that? There we go. Could do this 2 ways. Alright. Yappa-dap. Let's go over here. Let me grab. I am going to need
Master
airline.
Aquatics just call me Eduardo, said which airlines are we traveling, Jason?
I just explained this a minute ago, a little while ago. Whoops. I don't know what. Did I push that button? We might be looking at a different camera. But either way, we'll figure it out in a second here. We should be looking at this camera. Just getting out my airline. I ran out of airlines, so I had to get more.
Whips World said be lurking, getting ready to do some day drank, and I'll be back when I'm less naked.
Nice. Alright, let's open this box. 300 feet of airline tubing. You may think, oh my god, he's never going to use that. That's what I thought with the first box. This is the second box of 300 feet airline tubing I've had to purchase. So I guess.
Big Steve's Glassbox Creations said
Hey,
what up,
what's going
degenerates?
on, Big Steve? What's going on, man? All right, airline. Now, let me set this down. I'll set it right here. Let me throw this out. I need to get some zip ties real quick.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said 300 feet. OMG, that's useful. To breath. Shark Fin Adventures said how you do water changes on tiny fry. You said you hatch for 1 month. Do you change water prior to hatching in maternity tank? How do you maintain water quality for fry without siphon out it?
Well,
KJE Aquatics said
those are all
Agcor
good
is made
questions.
semi-local to me over in Rhode Island. They farm their own spirulina and mix it with the other ingredients, zero grain fillers like many of the big brands use.
That's definitely cool. Oh, hang on, we got a cat on the keyboard. That might be bad. All right. I got to remember what the question was from Sharkfin. Hang on. Let me get these zip ties, and then I'll take a look, see if short-term memory. Speaking of short-term memory, where's my phone? Right there. Right here. Right here. All right. How do you water change? I'll show you the water change. How I do that in a minute here. I said a hatch for 1 month. Do I change prior to water hatching? Usually, I usually don't change water too much when I don't see any fry. It's just I just started feeding very heavy, so I want to make sure that the water doesn't, like, the quality doesn't go to shit. Sorry, doesn't go south. It's become poor quality. You know. All right. Here is a gang valve. I don't know if you guys know what these are, but basically it's just airline comes in. It's got 4 valves out. It actually has a way you can continue more if you wanted more. I have one on this side already hooked up. You can see it right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I don't know if I'm going to put it that high though. I think I'll put it right here. So let me zippy tie. Now if I remember, these zip ties are like a pain because it's like exactly like you have to get it. Get underneath this. Come on. Through there.
Shark Fin Adventures said has the rubber end on gang valve ever blown out?
Nope. Not yet, anyway. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is such a tight fit. Like, if I don't have it just right, it won't grab that tooth. Here, we gotta do this. Alright, we got it. That one, let's get one more, kind of stabilize it. Okay. Yeah, that has not ever blown out on me. I was kind of, it's on there pretty good. It's like a rubber, it's rubber, I think. Not like a rubber, I believe it is a rubber. And not that kind of rubber. Let's cut off those ends. Let's toss this out so I don't have plastic floating around everywhere. Let me grab my scissors. The only thing I need at the moment is enough airline.
Shark Fin Adventures said how many tanks you have and numbers of fish species.
Man, you're asking all the hard questions. I have 30 tanks at the moment. One of them is empty though. It was a quarantine tank. I'm trying to keep it a quarantine tank, so I'm trying to keep it empty. But that's hard.
3G said hash check valve.
Whoosh. There is a check valve on a lot of the individual tanks have their own check valves. I guess I could put a check valve on Not a bad idea, 3G. I guess we'll be safe. I have check valves. I can add it to the other one too. Let me just make sure I get this long enough. Here, let's go this way a little more. So you can see, maybe you can't. Let's go this way. Sorry guys, it's a little bumpy. I don't know if you can see, this is where the thing is. I'm just going to put this right next to it. I'm going to open that
Shark
valve.
Fin Adventures said sorry for questions.
Nope,
I love your
questions
setup.
are cool. Questions are cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you guys can see that or not, I don't know. Hopefully you can. Not really. Is this better? Yeah, a little bit. You can hear it vibrating now because I moved it. I'm gonna have to play with that and get it to stop vibrating on that. There's also the jars on here that I gotta move off the food. Okay. Let's keep that there for a sec. Let's move this back actually. Let's get on the other side of that. There we go.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said questions are the reason we live for.
Yup.
That's how we all learn. And have frozen sex drives.
Alright, let me get these check valves. Here's a check valve. I don't see any reason not to use check valves here, so there's another check valve. That's good enough. Also have another gang valve, but I don't feel like dealing with that. I don't think we need that at the moment. So, check valve. Check valve. I don't see... Well, I'm just going to put the check valve on the feed, but I don't ever see... The only way I could ever get there is from these tanks. But I guess it's a possibility, so I should deal with it. Here's a check valve. What I do with the scissors to right here. So let's cut this right there. Let's move that through there. Let's put the checky valve. I don't know what you guys can see, but the check valve is now on. Where did it go? This is this. Check valve goes there. Now those tanks should start pumping again. Yep, all four of them. Alright, this one, we'll cut it right here. I just dropped that hose. Pick that up. Get the other check valve. Check valves are... Ooh. Ooh, that's got a hum to it. Yeah, what's up with that? We gotta tone that down a little. There we go. It's too much air chooching through that one.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said what's with the hummings.
I don't know. I've never had a check valve hum before. Might be a bad valve. I don't know. We'll see if we have another one. But I'm going to hook this up in the meantime. Let's see if it gets any better. It does not get any better. I can still hear that. Let me see if I have another check valve. It might just be... Oh, I do have another one. See if this one hums. That would suck. It might be in the word like position, proximity.
PNW Aqua said check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's right.
KJE Aquatics said spit on it.
Just me blowing through that makes a noise. This one does it too. Spit on it.
Shark Fin Adventures said will check valve stop water from back siphoning a tank.
Yes.
I
that's
hear
exactly
it reduces airflow and can limit pump efficiency, so I only have high located pump. Don't use it. Any input?
Thank you, Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo very much for the 20 gifted memberships.
Oh, Eduardo. Thank you, thank you. Spitting on it worked. They can, yes, they can absolutely limit airflow, but they can also save equipment. It's kind of like they do restrict it. They do add resistance to the line. You know what I mean? So yeah, I understand that, but it's like an insurance policy, you know, especially if you have like a. Depends on where your air pump is. If you set your air pump up in a way that it's above the tanks, then you don't need a backflow preventer, basically, is what they are. It'll just, there's no way for water to go uphill, right? Like the only problem would be is if the power went out and these tanks started like a siphon, that would come back into this pump, because this pump is lower than this level of these tanks. So that is a possibility. Ideally what I should do is maybe put the check valves on these tanks, the top tanks, instead of the airline itself. Alright, theoretically, let's back up here. We don't need to see that anymore because that's already installed. But, what am I trying to say? I guess, in theory, it would be a good idea to put check valves on every tank that is above
Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo, said Jason membership gifting also gift you a share of the profits.
Well, thank you.
Mexicali Fishkeeper said good morning Buttercup.
Good morning. So, as long as these gang valves are higher than, well, this tank, like theoretically these gang valves, well this one can't because it's higher than that tank, but this one could. They could get flooded from the tanks above and drain to tanks below, I guess, if water were to back siphon. So theoretically, you'd want check valves on the tanks that are at these levels or above, whatever, where these gang valves are. I'm not really worried too much about that. I figured if anything, I just protect the equipment so that we won't have any problems there. If I notice air's not moving, I don't know. It all depends on how you feel. Sometimes you want security, you know? Let's see, we are going to have to adjust this and unplug this. This is one of those pickle pumps. I'll save this one because it still works if I need it. Oops, I unplugged the wrong one. I unplugged the wrong one. What is going on here? Aha. There we go. I just have a USB port thingy that has like 10 USB things there. And I will stick this in the bin of stuff. Need to cut a line from there to there, so about yay long. Did I answer all the questions? I don't know. If I forgot them, re-ask it. So let's plug you in top. Let's plug you in.
Shark Fin Adventures said Jansen, do you have like a power backup supply in case electric is out?
No, that is actually
like
one of the
emergency
things.
pumps for aeration, etc. How do you deal with no power and cold?
Well, I used to have a backup system in this house, but however, that backup system has since gone offline. So I need to re-up that. So currently I have no backup plan, which is not a good idea. In the past, I haven't really worried about too much of like aeration or filtration. It was more about trying to keep them warm. Yeah, I would. I have like backup space heaters, but they run on propane, so you know you don't want to be burning that too often in the house. But yeah, I would. It'd be long nights until the power came back on. Let's put it that way. All right, this is now chooching again, but I need to do the water change on. Hang on. Maybe, let's do all the air first. Okay, let's just take care of the air system. So this guy, this pickle pump comes off of here. This airline should go into there. This should turn on. So we got air moving there. Cool. Stay there, stay there. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix that air stone in that one because it's got air moving, but it's moving really slow because I think the air stone's needs to be adjusted. All right, next, moving on up or down, I should say. This one can go here to there. Turn that on. Now she's flowing. Let's try and hide some of these. I'm gonna have to worry about that later. Try and hide some of the wires, the tubes. Let's take this one out of service. Badap. Oh my god. Oh yeah, look at that Keystone Clash. Whoop! Alright. Last pump of the pickles. Will this reach? No. No. Alright, let's do this. Let's unhook this first. Okay. Let's wrap this up. I have two options here. I can just replace the whole line, which I probably should. Yeah, you know what,
Shark Fin Adventures said Jansen, so how you deal with power outages if it happened now? Besides going crazy SBD pulling out your hair, tips, ideas?
I actually do have some ideas, but they're kind of... I don't know how to describe this. They're in the works, let's put it that way. And I do plan on talking about it when I get to that. But I'm not quite there yet. So I have no... The only thing I would do is I would try to make sure that this place stayed warm by burning that space heater in intervals that, like, you know, kind of kept this room, I would close off this room. Burn the space heater for, I don't know, 20 minutes, let the room warm up. Yeah, I'm gambling is basically what I'm doing. Yup. Alright, what was I doing? I gotta cut that inner line. There's this. Yeah, but I do have, I have what we call like an inverter. So what I would do if it was become a critical thing is I would run my inverter off my car battery and power the things that I needed to power, which would pretty much be this room. I have a 2,000 watt inverter. I don't want to cut this yet, so hang on. Let me take care of this sponge first. Oops. I've done that in the past. I've used the inverter. I would probably go out and buy batteries. Is honestly all I need to get my system back up and running. But I've been looking into other options, and some of them might come to fruition here. So yeah, I guess that's a good question. Like, what is the plan? Plan right now is to hope the power doesn't go out. It's
Shark
not a great
Fin
plan.
Adventures said thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Not a great plan. But I used to see I had roof work done. What was it? Almost, I guess, last year. And I used to have a solar panel that was on the roof that kept the batteries charged. And then if there was any problems, I could run stuff off the battery backups, right? Like I could pretty much choose just to run this room. However, when I had the roof done, I took the panel off the roof, so it's no longer on the roof, so the batteries are not being recharged. And since then, I believe I need to replace the batteries because the batteries, I believe, are shot.
Shark Fin Adventures said good morning bipolar.
That's kind of where that's at. I was actually thinking about getting new batteries. It was kind of on the list of things to do, but then, you know, expenses. Life got expensive. We're having a construction starting this week on our front porch, being enclosed and replaced, basically revamped, renovated. Yeah, so there's a lot of work that's happening. But I do plan on some other options. I've been looking at things. I've been thinking about things. I got to make some contacts, see what happens. All right, so we got all that air moving. Let's go back to this camera. And this is back to the fry tank, right? So, yes, fry tank. Donde es my coffee? Did I finish it? I don't think I did. Where are you? There you are. Come here, coffee. All right.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said funny I'm also planning on enclosing the Linai too. Maybe
Nice.
expanding the tank quantity.
Mm-hmm. Now somebody's fishing this fish from a cold water fish, so they would actually probably be
Shark
fine.
Fin Adventures said solar panels question. What size solar would you recommend to power for a fish room of your size?
You'd actually have to almost kind of contemplate what your usage is and determine how much of a backup you want. Like it would I don't know how to it would be hard, and I don't think the power would last, because at some point the room would get colder and then all the heaters would kick on, and when all the heaters kick on, then the circuits would start popping. I don't know. I've never really run this test, so I would recommend figuring out how many wattage, kilowatts your fish room is pulling on average, and then size the batteries accordingly. If you're pulling a kilowatt per day, that's a lot, right? It's all based on wattage and watt hours, or what amp hours is what batteries are rated on, but you can convert amp hours to watt hours, basically. Yeah, there's lots of ins and outs of that. Yeah, I have to think about this a little bit more to kind of correlate the words. I see 2 fry, 3 fry, 4 fry. I'm not sure if that's a 5 fry. It's definitely 4 fry.
Jen, you said good morning.
Good morning, Jen Yu. All right, let's do this water change. Well, let's fix this air stone, then we'll do the water change, and then
Shark Fin Adventures said thank you.
we will move on. Yeah, that's a good question though, and I've been meaning to deal with that
Master
whole battery
Aquatics
backup
just call
thing.
me Eduardo said Shark good question, but most likely an electrician would be able to answer it best.
Well, the problem is electricians really don't deal with solar power much.
Shark
So
Fin Adventures said good morning, Jen.
I need a step ladder because I can't quite reach into that tank.
Al Wet Sox said wouldn't a gen set be a simpler solution?
A generator would be a good solution. A Jenny would be a good idea. That would definitely work. I don't know. Problem is, the generator depends on like where you live, really. I live in a city, so I'd have to make sure I secured that generator where it might not be there when I need it. Yeah. Other than that, let's get this flowing a little bit better. Whoa. This is why I hate this stupid. Oh, derp. I realize now why. Probably didn't even need to do this because there's an actual valve on this airline.
KJE Aquatics said Allentown is a rough town in places. Lol.
Can be. Tell you firsthand, it's gonna be rough. Maybe I should just replace this line and get rid of this valve. Yeah, it's got air movement. It's good enough.
Shark Fin Adventures said Al emissions ab fuel up for generator etc. plus what Jansen said.
Yeah. I had a 100-watt solar panel that was just charging 200-hour amp hour battery, so basically I had 200 amp hours of power. It used to be able to run my refrigerator, freezer for like a day, 24 hours, something like that. There was one winter it kept my entire fish room.
First time in Allentown, I booked a hotel without reading reviews equals bad idea. Had to find a new one.
Nice. Yep, read those reviews. Alright, so back to the question about how do I do the water change on a tank with fry. Well, these fry are Pseudomugro fry. And 99% of the time they hang at the top of the water, like the very top of the water. They very rarely go any deeper. So, knowing that, I use my own little personal little like handheld siphon jobby here. Hold on, let me grab it. Just a little siphon. And then I stick this in, kind of making sure I ain't got nobody trapped in there, you know. And then I go to the bottom. And I start to siphon. Probably shouldn't do this with my face. But you know, live dangerously. And I usually just try and suck up stuff off the bottom here, because that's usually where the grodies are. And I have a little mark, or I had a mark on this tank. I must have flipped this tank around. Oh, I see the mark.
Shark Fin Adventures said yes, please share water changes tips.
I have a mark on this tank, which is about 20%. It's like a little black Sharpie in the corner. So it's a gallon. Yeah, a gallon would be 20% of 5 gallons. This is a 5-gallon fish tank. All the other ones are 10s. It's just I couldn't fit a 10 in that space up top there for that area. The other thing I like to do is not chuck that water out right away. Set it down. Let it settle a minute. Then I take a flashlight, kind of shine it in there and make sure I didn't suck up any little unsuspecting dudes. Which I don't see any. You would see them darting around. They're pretty, after that experience, they'd be freaking out. So yeah, make sure I didn't get any babies. Let's put the siphon away. I can dump this water. There are no babies. Give it a rinse so it doesn't get all salty. Because this is brackish water. Now, I premix a lot of my brackish water in these little gallon jugs. This is a 1 gallon Arizona iced tea container. I mix it to 1.015 salinity, or close to that. Yes. Now that I've done the water change, I just dump this in. The fish will normally get out of the way of that. Some of them like to play in it when they get bigger. Now what I could do, I'm going to move the mops next, but I need to fill these containers. I haven't filled the other one from last week, so we'll do that in a minute. I'll set these here for now. They're both empty. Let me move this camera to here, and we will look at this. That is this camera. Pow. Flushing the toilet. Let's go. Water changes, flushing the toilet. Alright, Aqua Garden Zen. We'll do that. Eric Wyrock, good morning. Good morning, Aqua Garden Zen. Woof. I personally like 5 and 10 gallons to start, but as they start to get bigger, put the fry in bigger tanks or back in the community. Yeah, usually I put them back in the community because you only really got to worry about them when they're kind of fry size, because the adults, they can eat fry. All depends on the species. Yep, exactly. All right, these are the parent tanks. There's Cyanodorsalis, Pseudomugil Cyanodorsalis here and there. There are mops in each one of these. There are also freshwater flounder, except they're brackish now. There are flounders in this tank, small ones. Let me get the mop out from here. Forgot to do the silicone thing. We'll have to get to that. Let's just take the mop out of the water. Give it a good rinse. Or a squeeze. Now I can already see eggs on this mop, like just laying on the surface. I see at least 4 eggs, 5 eggs, 6 eggs. This mop is filled with eggs. Some of them are white. Should probably get rid of them. White eggs. There's another whitish egg. That looks like yeah, so I don't know if you can see this, but there is a bunch of eggs on this. Can you see that? There's like 6 eggs right here. Another there, another there. A bunch more there. So I'm going to put these in the hatching. Or we just did the water change. Boom. Same thing with this one. Take a look at this. Squeeze some water out of it. Holy cow, there's probably more eggs in this one. Look at that. Look at that. Now I just got to get these things to hatch and survive. Like I said, I was having a problem with survival, so I think I just needed to up the feedings. And we'll let those hatch out for the next month. Oh, my nose. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I'm going to mute myself for this. My dog's trying to kill my cat now. For some reason, whenever I sneeze, my dog tries to kill either me. If she can't get to me, she'll try to kill the cat. Just sneezed again. Hang on, I need a tissue. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. I put the mops, the new mops, or whatever, the red mops. This is red week, so I'm going to, before I forget, I'm going to do all these mops, okay? So let's just do that real quick. Let's start with this tank. Well, I guess I should start with removing them. We are on the red week, so I'm going to take this red mop from here. Make sure there's no shrimp on it. I like to rinse these out, so bear
Bruiser
with me a
C
sec.
Flat said that Storm got the fish breeding.
That's right, maybe. Good idea. I mean, yeah, it's possible. I know there's a lot of atmospheric pressure changes that happen that causes a lot of, sparks a lot of fish breeding. So possible, yeah. It might have. Those cyanodorsalis usually do lay a lot of eggs for me. It's just a matter of getting them to hatch, that seems to be my problem. Okay. Red mop going. Well, let's take the red mop out. Let me get my hand in here a little bit better. Or this is the blue mop. I swap colors. RGB, red, green, blue. So the blue mop's coming out, the red mop goes in. Let me squeeze this, make sure there's nothing in it. Some of the water out. You can go back. Let's see, do we see any eggs? Sometimes I see eggs in here, sometimes I don't, but I've never had any of these hatch for me, so these are threadfin rainbows. Oh, there's a snail. You probably want to go back. From what I understand, some of these eggs are like so small. Those look like eggs. See, I do see things on here that look like eggs. Like there's definitely an egg looking object. There's some more down here. So
Freaky
maybe
Fish Lady said, howdy tropical fish freaks.
we'll put these in here and we'll see what happens. I have not seen any of these fry whatsoever, so maybe that's another thing of I'm not feeding enough for them to survive.
Daniel Velez said, good morning everyone.
So I'm just going to feed more often. Alright, while we're looking at that tank, or that center rack there, I'm going to move this sponge, or mop, I'm sorry, not sponge. This is from the Ivan Stoffies. I have seen fry from them, but I've never had them survive. Which goes to that whole, maybe I'm not feeding enough, so that's what I'm trying a new system here with more food. More food. Whoa. More often. Well, the same amount of food more often, let's put it that way. I don't think I'm underfeeding, except for the amount of times. I think the fry just need to eat more often than I'm feeding them. So clean this out. And we will swap mops. This top tank is the Ivan Stoffy tank. I got these from Richard Reynolds. So I'm going to drop this one in. Boop. Pull this one out. The other thing I could do in this tank to make my life easier is probably take some of these fake plants out and just keep the mops. That way they're not laying eggs anywhere other than where I want them to lay eggs. There's a lot of moss on this. The moss has probably got some eggs in it too. Yeah. That might be part of the problem with some of these I'm not doing so hot with, is because they got 100 other places to lay eggs that are probably a whole lot more natural than... Ooh, there's actually an egg in this one. I just pulled that egg off. And there's a little fry in there. You can see it. So let's put this guy back in here. Hopefully you don't get eaten. I'm just going to put this whole thing in there. Not even cleaning any of this moss off. I don't see any more eggs though. I also think I might need to start hatching these in a little bit softer water. My water is very hard. Very hard. And I think that's impacting hatch rates quite a bit. I think the, what do you call them, are the eggs are just becoming too calcified and the fish can't get out. Alright, these are Luminatus. I don't have any fry in this tank, but I did recently.
Aquarium Delirium said questions. If
Hey,
you were
what's
to
going
start a
up?
fish room from the start, what would you do differently the next time around?
I would find some way to auto drain tanks. That would definitely be maybe an autofill system, but definitely like an overflow drain. That would make life easier. I mean, the siphon thing is great, the Python, don't get me wrong, but it'd be kind of nice to just be able to change water at will, you know what I mean? Alright, there's a lot of algae in this tank. I'm just going to leave it alone. It's like green hair algae at the moment. Should have just left it alone, like I said I was. Let's get some of these snails out of these. Come on. It's always the Malaysians in the algae. I don't know what it is about that one. That one's not Malaysian. Malaysian trumpet snails. I bought like 10 of them from Flip Aquatics like years ago. They have since migrated every single one of my tanks. Alright, there's a white fungus. No, that's not even a fungus tag. It was just something white. I gotta rinse this. This is one of the old mops. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Furcatus. That's what I put in that tank. Or not Furcatus. Luminatus, I'm sorry. But I'd recently got in a swap. When was the swap? In November? I believe it was November. I got a colony
HAE Aquatics
of
said MTS
Luminatus.
by Everlol.
Yeah. Well, you got to start with MTS somewhere. They weren't. I mean, they were cheap, and they just took over, which is, I guess, a good thing. I'm not complaining. All right. Anyway, so the Luminatus. I had a colony, but I had the colony in quarantine down here. Since I moved them out of quarantine, there are at least 3 fry or 4 fry in there, so I've been raising them up. This is where I was hatching the Luminatus. This was actually a quarantine tank. So, we'll see. We'll see. Whoops, these are not Luminatus. These are Luminatus. I might, once those fry grow up a little, actually they're probably big enough to go in with the adults now. I'm just going to swap this out. This mop for that mop. Any eggs? Nope, there's definitely a snail though. And some blackbeard. And there's another snail. Let's see. Not seeing too many. Yeah, don't look, I'm going to put the mop in there anyway, just in case I'm missing some of these. But yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot of eggs out of those Luminatus. Or it might be the case of they're laying them on other things again. So, I have to keep up on these tanks. What else? The other thing we got to do is the Furcatus. Oh yeah, there's the captain. Gertrude. Here's the Gertrudes. I do have some Gertrude fry. At least 2 that are growing out. So this method is producing some fry. I just got to make sure I think I just need to be feeding more. And maybe softening some of the fry tanks up a little bit. So that the eggs hatch a little bit easier. So that's what I've been working on as far as this goes. Just rinse out the mops every week. Swap them to their hatching tanks, whatever. Or every 2 weeks I do this. This goes for here. We're over here now. This is... Alright, Pseudomugil Gertrude, Pseudomugil luminatus, Pseudomugil furcatus, Sunamugil, Ivan Staffi. These are threadfin rainbows. The Cyanodorsalis are the ones we already dealt with, so I believe those are all the pseudos I have. Well, threadfins are not pseudos. And I also have Celebes rainbows that I occasionally gather eggs, but I'm not gathering their eggs at the moment. So, we're doing Illuminatus, or Gertrudes. So let's move these out, move these in. Some of these species are very quick to eat their eggs, okay? So if you're not feeding them constantly, they will eat their own eggs. So they like lay their eggs and then eat their eggs. They lay their eggs and then eat their eggs. So you almost have to be pretty quick with some of this stuff. Or you have to make sure, see, I think that's the other problem too, is I skip some feedings. Last night I was out, so I didn't feed the tanks, which I think impacts eggs. I don't see any eggs in here, but I'm going to move them up anyway. There's 2 fry in that hatching tank. Alright, the only other one we got to deal with is the frickatas. Frickatas. There's at least 1 friccata fry in the hatching tank. He's probably big enough to go back to colony. He could get a little bit bigger. It's better to be safe. I noticed the fry don't tend to eat. Well, when they start turning juveniles, they will chase and harass the. But I think until they get a little bit bigger, the fry are almost too big to eat for them. So fry gets along pretty well with other fry, depending on how big they are. And some of these fish, these pseudos, are better at eating it. Like the Cyanodorsalis, I've never seen them eat their eggs. I've seen them put the eggs in their mouth and spit them back out. So I think that's one of the reasons why I have so many pseudo Cyanodorsalis eggs, is because they never eat them. However, these guys will eat their eggs, these guys will eat their eggs, these guys will eat their eggs. And these, the frickatas, are the biggest rainbows of them all that I have, anyway. The blue eyes, anyway. I know there's that contention calling them rainbows, but, they're still in that family, according to the scientific tree, so until science changes that, I'm acknowledging it. So I don't want to hear you crying about it. Alright. These guys are usually pretty good with eggs, but these other guys are also really good with eating eggs. Oh yeah, there's definitely some eggs in here. I see 2 right there. Thought I saw another one over here. Alright, let's throw these in. I see at least a couple eggs. Man, why does my nose itch so bad? I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, so we've moved all the mops. Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. We're done with that. And I can get rid of this. Okay. Mops are all taken care of. Anybody else heard that? Something's giving me a bunch of alerts. Hopefully I'm still connected. Let's see what happened. Daniel Velez, what's going on? Good morning. Jennifer Weaver, good morning. What's going on? I'm going to mute myself and blow my nose.
My Fish Tanks Aquatics said good morning, Jason and fishy folks.
Good morning. Oh, what were these alerts? Ooh, I disconnected, reconnected. So yeah. Apparently we had a hiccup there. Hopefully I'm still streaming, right? Did you guys see a hiccup? I don't know. Here, let's test. Let's test with the kitten. Okay. Still working. Alright, did I close this lid? Did I fix this? Yes. That's closed. Fryer there. I just fed everything. I'll feed these guys in like at noonish. We did that. We did the center. We did the air. Got the mops moved. What else do we need? I guess I can put this back. Put this away. The airline. 300 feet. Now we're down to like 298 feet. Okay. Put that there. Scratch my nose because it won't stop itching. What do we got? Mop swap. Air system in the center rack. Hang on back filter. That's what we haven't done.
Scotty Aquity said hopefully you're not coming down with what I have.
No.
Been sick for 2 weeks, still feeling like poop poop.
Hopefully not. I just got over, the big C. Started the new year with COVID. That sucked. Well, we were going to do the brackish. So maybe we should do some brackish. At least fill them up. So
Lady
that we have
Deanne
them
said
ready.
hi Jason.
Good morning, Lady D. I am drinking your coffee as we speak. I'm savoring it. This is salt water. So we're going to move this over. We're going to fill those jugs. And then we're going to deal with the hang on the back. I'm trying to get over all these wires. And keep my salt water in a trash can. It is pre-mixed. I mix it. I mix it to 1.025. That's what I usually keep my saltwater tank at. I just realized now I gotta start filling some of these jugs because they're almost they're empty. Okay. So I take that salt water, which is what my saltwater tank is at, and I cut it with some RRO water to make it brackish. So brackish is basically just half salt, half fresh, right?
Select Pet said I picked up 30-gallon tote full of sump media and CO2 diffuser. Maybe
Nice.
that means I need to do a sump and CO2.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like you got the setup for it. Alright, let's open these. Alright, my complex mixing method is I drew a line on both of these containers. And then I fill it to that line with salt water. And then I top it off with fresh water. And then that's gets me real close to where I need to be. I'm going to fill this.
KJE Aquatics said add botanicals to the threadfin tank. The biofilm from them will help feed fry.
It's not a bad idea. Actually, there is botanicals in that tank. I'll put more in there. There's a bunch of shrimp in that tank too. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm gonna look at my chat. Oh, we're looking at the wrong camera. Camera we're looking at. Holy cow, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at. There we go. There we go. I thought you were looking at this camera the whole time. My apologies. So yeah, salt water is in a trash can. My jugs have lines on them. I fill them up to that line with salt water. And then I top it off with RO. And that gets me real close to where I need to be. Close enough. Because most salt and brackish environments are kind of constantly changing. Yeah.
Select Pet said I know a good place to pick up botanicals.
Yeah.
I hear that KJE website sells great botanicals.
Indeed he does. There's also a discount code. If you type in exclamation KJE, it should pop it up. There you go, I heard it. It also pops it in the chat.
Lady Diane said the 3G is here.
The G of 3.
TJ Autocross said way ahead of you, Jason.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, TJ. I knew I made you a mod for a reason. Alright, that's close. Let that settle down a minute, and I'll start filling this one up. Usually I try to be a little bit neater, but just need to get better measuring cups, I think. Probably one more. I still need to figure out a better method for all the guys. I have
Select Pet said, Jason, you need a pump for that so you don't have to bend down with that cup.
telling me, man. I was just saying I need a better method.
Jansen Cab, you explain purposes of color mops.
Yes. The only color difference is on the top of the mop is a different colored bead, and that's just so I can tell what mop is what. And like I said, I use a method where it's red for 2 weeks, green for 2 weeks, blue for 2 weeks, and then back to red for 2 weeks, back to green for 2 weeks, rinse and repeat. But meanwhile, that allows for the like when the red mop gets moved to the hatching tank, the red mop will be in that hatching tank for a month. Same thing with all the other mops. The green, the blue. Alright, those are pretty much full. Still have half a thing of salt water there. Maybe I should have done the water
Select
change.
Pet said color changing beads.
Yeah. That would not help. That would confuse. Alright.
3G said Dagger uses the pull-out method.
Let's get some water in there. And here's my jugs of RO water. Ah! If I can steady my hand.
3G said Diggy.
Diggy. Diggy. Degy. That's probably pretty good. Oop, that's the wrong lid. That's that lid. Top this off. I'm gonna need the other jug. Diggy. Diggy, diggy, diggy. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right there.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said please explain this pulling out method with pictures please.
Give it a little stir. Same thing with this one. I have a trusty refractometer, so we'll test to make sure we're close, or see where we're at. Sometimes I'm low, usually never high, usually always high. 015, that one's perfect actually. So that's good. Let's test this one. on it today.
Select
Both
Pet said
good.
anybody else secretly hoping the lid isn't all the way secure when Jason shakes that jug. Sorry, Jason.
Masochist. Alright. They're both perfect. Which is good. It's actually like, good. Letting these Oreo jugs fill up for a second here. Let's put that away. Alright. So we have done, let's focus on that tank for the moment. I can put the salt water back
Kalish
too.
said good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Kalish. Thanks for being here. Let's get this out of the way. It's easier just to move the cords and then go over them again. Let's move that. Bringing the salt water back. We'll deal with this later. I got to do something similar with the brackish. I think I'm just going to get another bucket or a trash can or whatever. Do the same thing. Now let's turn this on. Let's move this power cord. Now, we are going to do something.
Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo said Jason is frozen.
I am? Oh, I am. Uh-oh. What'd I do? I pulled it out. Pulled it out. That's the pull out we were talking about there, Eduardo. That's the pulling it out.
Select Pet said I guess it's cold there too.
Boom. Alright, let me reset this camera. Properties. Should work. No?
Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo said LMFAO got it.
Are we looking at black screen? Yep, hang on. There we go. Okay.
3G said anyone seen Patty?
We're back.
Question mark. I don't think
I have
I've
not
her
seen
this
Patty.
year.
I think Patty's mad at us. At least she's mad at me. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I don't know. I guess I'm not a good friend. I don't know. I'm an innocent man. But I have not seen Patty either. Patty, if you're lurking, I don't know what I did. Now this is dangerous.
Benjamin Peters said good morning, Jason. What is the vine across your ceiling? Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo said you pulled out without her approval. Select Pet said BBA tank.
This is the BBA tank. And the vine going across the ceiling is just a decorative plastic plant ivy thing. It's interwoven with these little balloons, like hot air balloons, but they're lights. So it's like Christmas lights. It's like party lights. Party lights wrapped with ivy. Did it for fun. Figured why not. Alright.
3G said she's secretly meeting with Fisherman.
Maybe. Maybe. They got their little secret meeting going. Alright. What am I doing? I need my filter. Probably going to need scissors. So we want to put this
Select
filter
Pet said plastic.
on this
I'm
thing.
shattered. Is nothing real on the internet anymore?
Nothing is real. Well, plastic is real. I mean, it's not a real plant, but it's a real object.
TJ Autocross said
It
I
is-
texted Patty last week. She's doing fine. Been working a lot. I told her that her friends have been asking about and we want her back.
What'd she say? She said, stuff it, Eduardo. No, I don't know. Well, that's good. Ooh.
Lady Deanne said Jason
Ooh.
is decorative just for us. Appreciate
Woo!
it.
My jug was full. My jug of water was filled. I'll fill this one now. That's my overflow sensor. That. It lets me know when the jugs are full, so I don't waste the RO. Okay, I just put that filter in a tank. I should probably make room for it in this.
Select Pet said please tell me others heard that too, and it's not just my hearing messing up again.
The alarm? Nope, it's just you, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, where do we gotta go there? There-ish. Alright, let's let me cut this a little bit. I'm gonna cut a hole out of this. This lid is so jacked up, I don't really care. Right? Look at how jacked this is. First of all, it's split in half. I believe the inside of this is broken. Like, this is a jagged edge on this side, so let me get a razor blade to cut this. Pretty sure I have one in here. At least I used to. Where is my tool belt? Or my tool bag? I just need to find my razor. My whatever utility knife. I thought it was in here. Probably help if I could see in there. Get out of my way, man. Let's move this out so I can see. Not there, not there, not there. Not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. Interesting. Here, you know, this is how it always is, right? Let me guess. I used it and never put it back. It's typical, man. Typical. Well, we have other ways. Unless I see it laying right here. Nope. Okay. Let's go back out. I got myself, I don't even know what these things are called. Snips. Cutters. Holy cow. I swear to God. Being left-handed is such a fucking curse sometimes. Oh yeah, you can't use the tool that way. You gotta use it with your offhand. Because it won't work. Let's hope that does it. Wow, this is like brutal.
Select Pet said just stop being left-handed, then man shrugging.
Just stop. Just stop being left-handed, man. It's a you problem. Right, let's put this back on. Let's hope that did it. Ta-da! Perfect. Let's go over here. Ta-da! Alright, we gotta feed this up and around. So give me a second on that. Go this way. We can go this way. Ta-da! Are we chooching? It's grinding. Maybe we need to add some water here. Oh, there we go. Not sure what this one does. I know this one, first of all, I don't know why it's rattling so much. Probably because the water needs to be higher. We are kind of low. Well, let's grab some handfuls of BBA. Oh yeah, look at that.
Lady Diane said I love watching men work while I'm in bed with coffee and bonbons.
Well, there you go, Lady D. Let's add some water to this tank. Let's clean up this plastic thing. I thought there was another piece there. Alright,
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said, is it possible to stop being left-handed when you're a genius?
I hear a what? And I heard the captain. Oh, my nose. 2, 3, 4. Alright. Let's pull this out. Put this in. See if we can fill this up a little more. I'm not sure why that seems so loud.
Danny Ken Aquatics said morning
Yo,
Jason, what
what's
up fish
going
people victory
on?
hand light skin tone.
What's going on, Kenny? Alright, I guess that's as good as I'm gonna get with the filling. Still making an incredible noise there. Maybe I have to play. Ooh. I think I'm on concrete here. Spilling water. Let's put this away.
Scotty Aquity said it's the impeller making the noise.
Yeah, there might be something stuck in there. It'll probably clear itself up. But sometimes there's that surface. There's like a surface skimmer thingy like built into this. Where's the lid? There we go. Don't forget this thing. Not that that matters. But this thing on the bottom, I forget what this is for. It only has like a turn or two. Not even like. Basically one way or the other. I don't know which one. I guess that would be open. The same thing with the top here is flow rate. That's slow, and this is wide open. Well, we'll let it run for a minute. Let me try unplugging. That did get better. Interesting. That's worse. There's probably something stuck in the impeller. I'll keep it on the quieter end. That got a lot better though. Which if I turn it down. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let it run. Hopefully that clears up. If not, I have to get in there and dig it out. Okay. What time we got? It's almost 11 o'clock. I unfortunately am gotta go on time today because I have a lot of things that we need to take care of before these guys get here for construction tomorrow. So I got a whole I'm coming here to revamp the porch, and underneath the porch is a whole big storage area that needs to get cleared out, and pretty much the only day I have to do it is today, but we got a couple minutes yet, so I'm gonna feed these guys since we just whatever was left over here. I'm gonna feed the what do you call them too? Flounders. Couldn't think of the word.
Select Pet said, I'm glad I tuned in. Jason has inspired me to work on my tanks.
Yay!
Oh wait, there's snow on the way to the fish building. I think I'll wait. Master
Yeah.
Aquatics just call me Eduardo said, but isn't the weather there horrible to be outside, Jason?
Well, it's not so much outside as the room is underneath. It's, see that door? That's an exterior door. That door goes underneath the porch. That's where all the storage is. So I basically got to clean out that room because they're going to expose that all in the coming days. All right, they have been fed. Tapajos, firemouths. There's a fest of them. Some Adolfois. Let's see how this does with the extra filtration. It's going to be a little minute until that gets caught up. Doesn't sound.
Select Pet said video
Doesn't-
of cleaning under the porch question mark.
I don't know about that. That's a disaster. All right, let me switch cameras.
Lady Deanne said, could you go live for all that work you have to do, Jason?
Oh.
I'd get more bonbons.
We'll get more bonbons. I don't know about that. This doesn't seem very exciting to me. All right, what are we looking at? This tank. Can we get some lights? There, we get a little bit more lights. I can see eyeballs. I see at least 1, 2.
Darlene's tank said, I'm new to canister filters.
Ooh.
Have 2 now. Do I turn them off to do my water changes?
I guess it depends on if you're going to get lower than... No, you probably don't need to. I know some people do. I rarely do. As long as you're not changing water below the intake so that the pump's running dry, you should be totally fine. And I'm really bad at cleaning my canister filters too. It's usually like a year between cleanings. Alright. There's definitely some food in there. And I'm gonna dump some in here. Just gonna put the rest in there. Boom! Eat your whatever the heck this is. Some sort of weird shrimp. Let's see if the flounder come out. Well, we got a
Danny
couple minutes here.
Aquatics said, yes, Jason, do a video of you doing the construction videos in Daisy Duke lol. I'm sure it will get lots of views. Winking face.
Hey, apparently my plumbing videos go over pretty well, so.
Code KIT08 for the $5 USD
Hey.
super sticker.
Killer
You rock.
Kitty! You rock! Thanks, Killer Kitty. It's awful nice of you. Aw, it says bravo. Thanks. The Daisy Dukes. Yeah, I don't think that's happening there, Kenny. Thank you very much, Killer Kitty.
Killkitty08 said, do the flounder eat at night or when you put the food in?
Um,
Long Family Shoal said,
Hang on.
Jason, I stopped in LFS Global Fish Company
Hang on.
and they had flounders of the hog choker type.
ooh,
They had 6+ FYI.
where was this? You're in Jersey, aren't you? Somewhere? I think. I don't remember. I believe, vaguely remember this. As far as feeding them, I'm sure they're probably more active at eating it. I do put some food in there, like, usually when I feed them at night, it's because I usually go around and I sprinkle some of the fry food into these tanks with the adults. Just a little bit. Just to give them that little, like, hey, there's food in this tank that Fry
QC
can eat, so
Aquaholic
maybe you
said
want to
your
lay some
alarm hurt
eggs.
my ears, and I was in another room.
I'm sorry, QC. But I'll put in some of these freeze-dried tubifex worms at night, and they'll eat now. It just takes them a minute to realize, like, hey, there's food laying on the bottom.
Thank you, Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo for the $20 USD super sticker. You rock.
Wow. Thank you, Eduardo. You do rock. You are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for
Long Family Shoal said yes.
the gifted
They're in Elmwood Park,
memberships.
MJ.
Yeah, that's cool. That's where you can get hog chokers in Jersey. Like, you can catch them in the streams. I'm not sure if we are going to see them today. I think maybe moving the light kind of freaked them out. But they do come out. Usually takes them a minute. I see one over there in the back. I see one that somebody was just picking on his eyes. I don't think you like that. But yeah, they're ambush predators, so yeah, they're probably better at, like, you know, low light. I don't think they're nocturnal. They're probably more what is that the dawn and dusk. But they're opportunity feeders, so they'll just lay in wait all day until something comes near.
Kilkitty08 said, are these hog chokers?
No, these are not hog chokers. These are
Danny Ken Aquatics said, so are those fish in there as feeders for them?
yeah, no. They don't really bother them too much. And 90 times out of 10, these guys are hanging at the surface. It's only because I put food in there. Are they trying to get to the bottom? But yeah, I haven't seen... They're a little too big to be eaten by the flounders. But these are not hog chokers. These are... what the hell is it? I can't remember the name of the species. I have it written down. Let me go look. But we got to get out of here in like a minute here, folks.
Andy Carson said, can you zoom in on them, please?
We can try. Let's try, Andy. Hold on. What camera are we looking at? This one. The default one. Let's get there.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said, I think they are just fondlers eaters.
Zoom. Focus. Oh, I didn't have the focus on this whole time. Just had it a lock fixed to focal rate distance there. Oh. Might need to bring the camera down. But I could show you where they are. I can see them. I'm so good at spotting these guys. I don't want to toot my own horn. But... hang on.
KJE
Where
Aquatics
is
said,
my-
Jason, you have a good day cleaning out your strage box. Peace out,
Yeah.
people.
Okay. Right at the tip
Master
of my
Aquatics just
thing.
call me Eduardo said, that's a lot of babies, Jason.
You see those two little dots? Those are
Scotty
eyeballs.
Aquity said, my LFS just got in freshwater flounders.
Same thing over here. This is a flounder. I'm going to stir him up. He's going to move. You didn't like that? I don't know where the other ones are. There are a total of 4 in here. But these are not hog chokers.
TJ Autocross said, Jason is a real flounder finder.
Yeah. These are some other species. There are ways to tell the difference between some of the species to get close, but from what I understand, there are like several different species in the same genus, and that's when it gets really hard to determine who's what without genetic information. Let me see.
Master Aquatics just call me Eduardo said, Jason is AFFer.
Whatever that means. Where is it? The Acaridae is what I believe the genus to be. And Acaridae means A meaning without, and Karos means hands. So they reference the lack of pelvic fins. Acaridae. Yeah, there's certain determining factors. We'll have to get into that like another time. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some hog triggers. I got another
Flotty the Fish
brackish
Freak
tank I could
said
throw
Killer
them in.
Kitty is doing her first live stream today at 1 Eastern Time.
Really? Wow. Let's see if I can make that. That should be interesting. If not, I'll catch the replay. But yeah, guys, I'm going to have to get
3G
out of
said
here.
they're almost as fun as watching paint dry eyes.
Hey, I've got some cool footage of them. I'll have to see if I can get a little montage going. Maybe I'll bring that on the stream next week, a little pre-made clip or something. I'll put it out there in the blogosphere. All right, guys, I got to go. I got to head out. I got things I got to take care of. I appreciate everyone. Thanks for everything. Next week, it's getting close to the end of the month, so
Master
we'll probably
Aquatics
be
just
doing
called me
giveaways.
Eduardo said thank you Jason for another interesting stream.
And thank you for attending. If you guys haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe as always. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. If you want to email me, talk about something, you want to see me talk about something, you got something on your mind you want to talk about, email me. That's my email. If not, then I will see you all in the next one, guys. Thanks for everything. See you next week. Bye.